So I'm Leena-Kaisa Åberg. I'm from the Finnish organization, generic organization, Victim Support Finland, RIKU. We provide victim services to all victims of crime in Finland.
So today we're asking you, what are the benefits of combining generic services with specialized services? So whatever comes to mind, we would love to hear from you.
Yes, in addition to having these generic services in the whole country of Finland, we also have a specialized service for victims of human trafficking. So combining these two services, we think, have been very useful, and there's a lot of synergies found here. For example, the specialized service for victims of human trafficking can use the whole structure we have for the generic services with 30 local services all over the country. So, for example, in Finland, we've had cases of human trafficking with forest berry picking, people coming from Thailand, and these happen in quite remote areas, not in the big cities. So if you have a service like that only in the capital or some big cities, you wouldn't be so good to be able to provide these services also in the remote areas. But here we can use our offices that are for the generic, but still they can cooperate and also use the volunteers that are there for all victims of crime.
How do you see the specialized services supporting that generic? Or in what ways do you think they integrate with one another, that collaboration occurs?
Well, we've had this specialized service since 2015. So we've had time also to raise awareness among both the staff and the volunteers in the generic services about what is human trafficking. How can you identify trafficking victims, which is actually quite difficult. So very often we identify these victims in our normal services. They come there with some other issue, for example, domestic violence, or some problems with their employer. And then since there is knowledge, awareness among the staff and the volunteers, so they can start asking more questions that might relate to human trafficking. So we really have results here. So we have identified quite many victims of human trafficking that come actually to the service or are referred for other issues. And because we know that human trafficking is a very, very serious crime, so we've been able really to also to help the authorities to find this criminality and to get then also the perpetrators to be punished. So I think in that way they really, really help each other.
Yeah, those needs assessments for victims coming to you can be essential in getting victims the correct support or accessing the right types of support. It's great to hear that those questions and the training and awareness building of both staff and volunteers is having a positive impact for victims. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for joining us throughout the conference. We hope you had a wonderful time with us.
Thank you. I think it's been a great conference. I've learned a lot, and I'm going to bring home many new ideas.